Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rob Satcher from Feedbackwrench. You know, my channel is all about small business, tax content, SEO. And I want to talk about how do you create a YouTube channel where you get significant amounts of income? How do you make a lot of ad revenue on YouTube? How much do YouTubers make? You know, how much CPM is actually pretty good? And what is the monthly income that you can expect from YouTube? And I've got some insight. It's been pretty interesting. I've got a couple of channels that I manage. One of them's in the athletics realm. One of them's my channel. And then I've got a couple other ones that are just kind of stupid, funny humor stuff. And I have learned what it takes to actually drive some significant income to your YouTube channel and how you can earn quite a bit more than what I think your typical YouTube channel will be. In fact, I was just watching a guy named Brickman who makes a ton of like 1 to 3 minute videos about Legos. He has, 50,000 subscribers. I have 11,000. He has millions and millions of views on his video. I think I've got almost 1 million views total for all my content. And he was mentioning that he makes like $30 a month from his. And I will just say that our channel drives more revenue than that. It's nothing huge, but right now I'm clipping along at about $1,000 a month in ad revenue. And of all the channels that I've seen out there, I've learned some things, and it comes from my background in being a digital marketer. See, not only do I create content on YouTube, but I also help businesses implement digital marketing solutions. Digital marketing solutions would be Google paid search advertising. So it used to be called AdWords, right? Now it's Google Ads. So you search a keyword, we have an ad that pops up and it goes to a landing page and you convert. You also have Google Display. Now Google Display is where you upload a whole bunch of different images and on various websites. So if you have a website with Adsense on it, so if I write a blog, maybe I write a keto blog, right? And on my keto blog, I put Adsense, and that means that Google will serve up my Google Display ads on that blog, and the blog would earn a little bit of money. Now, YouTube is almost identical to Google Display because what you will see is when you have a YouTube video, each view has an opportunity to have a pre-roll video in the front of it. You have the opportunity to have display ads, so those little banners that pop up. And what I'll tell you is, so this is all meant to show you how you can make more significant income on YouTube and how can you have a really high CPM. Now, I'm not the king of this. I'm not going to act like I know everything, but I have been able to identify what it is that's actually going to drive a ton more revenue, comparatively speaking, across your content. So how do you make more income? I'm telling you what, at this $1,000 a month, and I don't have any runaway videos, I don't have anything just cranking away. I think I have one video with about 400,000 views, but I have CPMs. My CPMs are $100, $50, $70 CPMs, which is I think cost per 1,000 views or something. It basically shows, is this valuable? Are advertisers trying to actually advertise on there or not? And so here's a couple pieces of advice that I've found, okay? First of all, you'll hear lots of coaching around the length of your video. I would affirm that a longer video, generally speaking 7 minutes and up, 10 minutes and up, tends to be the type of video that will trigger stronger ad revenue. It's almost like, Google, and I think here's why. One, it's better content probably, but two, think about if you had one video and you wanted to churn ads. What you would do is you take that one video that might be 20 minutes long and make 10 2-minute videos that just spin into the next one, into the next one, into the next one. And the result would be you're kind of churning the ad, right? YouTube protects against that because if you remember back in like the mid 2000s, that used to be the case. I don't know I didn't have a channel up at that time, but I know as a consumer of YouTube, and I've been a consumer of YouTube since it was Google Video, and then Google actually purchased YouTube. I've been paying attention to this for a long time. I'm 37 years old, but you got to remember the reason why longer content works is because YouTube's trying to prevent this churning effect. You don't want, 100 different 30-second videos in order to get a 30-minute video. So the idea is they're always going to reward the longer ones, just generally speaking. That is true. I would affirm that. But most importantly, let's go to the next thing. You're going to see lots of videos talk about you got to get the hook. You have to have retention. What percentage of your videos are being viewed so that you get really good revenue, and then from there you got to get, so you have the retention, what percentage of the video, how many watch minutes are you getting? The more watch minutes you have, above 50%, the better. Absolutely. You have a tendency to get picked up and thrown into the browse features much more often if you have videos that people are watching all the way through, they're liking, they're commenting, and you can just tell that if you're satisfying the query or if you're satisfying the audience, it pretty much knows, and there's no magic to that. So if you're creating great content, absolutely, you got to have the little hooks. Some of these guys are really good at it. I'm not. This video is boring right now. This is a GoPro in my car on my way back from an appointment, okay? But I would affirm those two things, but here's the secret, okay? This almost goes into thinking about what businesses are profitable, because as a digital marketing firm, and I also do coaching for bookkeepers and accountants, CPAs trying to launch their own business. One of the things that I talk to them about is when you're doing B2B sales, you have to get in front of, particularly as a marketer, you got to get in front of businesses that have a big upside. Somebody who has a high margin, a high cost per transaction out there, and particularly something that has high gross margins and maybe isn't so labor intensive. So think about this. If you were selling Taco Bell, right? That's not what I'm talking about right now. Taco Bell has to do mega advertising. Taco Bell's advertisements are pretty decent, but they don't make a ton per taco, right? So you won't see Taco Bell paying a ton of money to get in front of millions and millions of subscribers. You might earn some, but more importantly, think about the niches in which there's giant transactions where the acquisition or like the lifetime value of a customer for that business is really high. Because if you create content, and I'll fast forward to it. If you create content in subject matters that attract an audience that a business wants to get in front of, and it's valuable, it's profitable, there's a high lifetime value to that client, the transactions are high, you're going to get more advertisements. Because here's on the back end of this. Let's just say, for instance, I have a remodeling company, and the remodeling company, we're going to do Google paid search. Every time somebody clicks on their website, the next thing I'm going to do is, for a month, I'm going to have a YouTube video served up to only the people that have my cookie, that Google Analytics or the Google AdWords cookie installed on their browser. They've come to my site. Now I'm going to serve up 3 YouTube videos in a remarketing campaign, and I know that that's going to work. So that's one way. But then the other way, instead of just doing the people that have been on my website, let's say I want to get in front of people who have been looking at kitchen appliances, right? Kitchen appliances, ironically, I've seen some channels where they're doing kitchen appliance fix-it, and that they actually make some decent revenue off of their channel, because remodelers, home builders, architects, appliance companies want to get in front of that audience, and they're willing to pay with Google Display and YouTube advertising. So all that to say, you got to look at the transactions that are meaningful and create content that's going to attract a particular niche. So in mine, for example, in the SEO and web design, so I have videos that are literally 70 to 150 CPM, and they're always around search engine optimization, web design, digital marketing, tax accounting, and there's stuff for business owners. And that would be my final conclusion. I think that if you want to make high-end value, you got to find a niche market that is attracting, and then you're going to create content that solves a problem and attracts an audience, but that audience has to be some sort of niche that is attractive for a business to advertise on. So you got to think of, you think of custom home building, you think of remodeling, you think of a lot of the construction trade stuff, SEO, wherever there's a ton of software, boy, financial services, and that's the thing, I'm into the financial services world, when you start getting into those financial services, or if you do stuff on like ERPs, if you do software that is specifically for a business, so business niches, or boating, luxury items can be the same thing. You know, luxury items can demand a high CPM, but what I've found is that B2B thing where businesses are going to try and get in front of other businesses, or if it's business to consumer businesses, they want to get in front of a high ticket item. And so you just got to think about what are the high ticket items out there where people would, so if you attract an audience, it looks like someone could advertise a high ticket item in front of you. Because from an advertiser's perspective, I'm going to end real quick here. When I'm trying to find how do I get my videos in front of people so that so that this advertising works, usually we're doing remarketing. But if I'm looking for these broad audience types, you actually go into Google Ads and you go into the audiences tab, and you can pick these audiences. If you were to just open up a Google Ads account and start looking at the audiences that are there, and then imagine what kind of content, what kind of problems are they working on, and then do SEO optimized videos that are gonna hit that market. So go into Google Ads, take a look at the audiences, the in-market audiences of Google Ads, and that's Google Display or Google Search, and start thinking about, where is their major money getting spent? If I was a business, if I was an SEO company, if I was a big software company, if I was a financial services company, whatever that is, and I'd love to hear your ideas if you guys have had a ton of success having a video with a super high CPM. You got to create content that attracts that user, and I think B2B is where it's at, and high ticket items. So, but Google has to identify you as content around that. So how does it denote? So of all my videos, some of them have super high CPM, some of them don't. In fact, I have a video showing the DJI Ronin SC and 8 things I really didn't like about it. That's a camera gimbal, and that is a much lower CPM than I'm getting on all my business stuff. And I know the advertisement that's on my business stuff, it's some of these, entrepreneurs, but a lot of it's just core business stuff. It's software that's advertising, and it's driving a much higher CPM, which for not a ton of views, it's $1,000 a month. I'm going to make 12 grand this year. It's not super great money, but it's growing and it keeps growing. So think of it that way. Good luck with everything, guys. And this whole COPPA thing, if you create content for kids, boy, start making content for corporations and you'll have a good time. Good luck with everything. I don't know everything. Love to hear if some of you have YouTube videos that are just dominant. Good luck.